Let's listen to the ad spot. Hello, this is Tom, aka Jedion, here for Tabletop Tap Room, Star Frontiers Gamer, and Star Frontiersman Volume 2, the Fan Magazine. Geez, that almost sounded like Spaceballs, the Fan Magazine. Sorry, flashbacks to yesteryear. So we are doing a Patreon announcement today. I'm not going to go into much about the magazine because I've done posts all over Facebook, all over the Star Frontiers Facebook pages. People are downloading and reading it. By the way, it is now 4:40 Eastern time. I just uploaded version C of the PDF to drive-through. So if you've already downloaded it earlier today, before 4:40 Eastern time, you want to swing by drive-through and download the newest corrected version of the PDF. There were a few small corrections were caught today, quickly changed in layout by John, and I just uploaded them. So a little bit of record keeping there. And while we're doing housekeeping, thanks for watching the video. Thanks to my subscribers. You guys are great. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, bell icon. Help me build the channel. But so today we're talking about the Star Frontiersman. It is back in print for 1 year now. Today, 1 year now, because Quarterly Magazine, technically we were working back in, or did we? Yeah, we dropped the first issue in January. So yeah, we were technically, we were working before. We were working before in 2022, so that we could release an issue in January 2023. Quarterly Magazine, we've now been going a year. And to celebrate that, we didn't intend for this to happen. We had some bloat. We had some content bloat, which is a good problem to have in a fan magazine. 95 pages, 95 freaking pages of Star Frontiers content by Star Frontiers fans who love the game, not jokers who squat on trademarks. But that's another story. These are fans. These are super fans who really love the game. I've managed to assemble a great staff at the Star Frontiersman. These are just super creative people. And let me tell you, if it wasn't for them and I was doing this all by myself, and I would probably persist in doing this all by myself, the magazine wouldn't be half as good. It'd be like a quarter as good, and it wouldn't be quarterly. It'd be like maybe twice a year, and maybe even on a bad year, once a year. I mean, it is what it is. If I was all alone doing everything, it would probably be like a 6-month process to produce an issue. So, hats off to the magazine staff. And we're just kind of turning the corner on getting the whole work process. We'd start this now, and Aaron's working on something, and that's for issue 20, for issue 30. And meanwhile, Oscar's working on stuff, and that's for issue 31. And then at some point here, we'll start be thinking about, all right, what's going to happen in 32, that summer issue. But we don't need to think about that right now before Christmas. But we're going to have to start thinking about it around Christmas. And so we want to start getting our brains going. And meanwhile, great artists have just stepped up and said, hey, what do you need? How can I help? Love that. Absolutely love that. New artist, by the way, in the magazine, April Messier, daughter of Jason Messier. She did all the art for his adventure that he wrote, Jacketsville. And it's really good art. I really like the vision she brings to the game. It's cool. It's cool. So I'm really happy, and I hope she continues to do Star Frontiers art. And it might just be that she just does art for her dad when he writes stuff. So if that's the case, then we're gonna have to keep wooing Jason and say, Jason, buddy, man, you got to write more, because his daughter does good art. So she's a new artist. Unexpectedly ended up here with great art through his article. Alan Taylor did the cover. Great cover artist. This guy's a professional artist, and he's got a Public Tea store, Public Tees store. In fact, he asked if he could use the cover image, since it's his cover, but it says Star Frontiersman, as a t-shirt. And somebody's hooking you up with cover art and they're not charging you for it. Of course, nobody charges us because we're beggars with the fan magazine. When they're hooking you up with cover art and do you mind? The answer is always, nope, don't mind. So the cover of this issue is in his Public Tees store, and you should check it out. If not for the Star Frontiersman Public Tees, he's got a lot of cool t-shirts, gaming related. There's one that I got my eye on. I was like, ooh, that's a cool shirt. And do you remember back when we were all kids, and they would put on milk cartons, "Have you seen me?" It'd be some missing kid. And well, he did one of those. It's like the ad you would have seen on the side of a milk carton, but it's for Sasquatch. "Have you seen me? Contact the National Society for Missing Cryptids." And it had aliases on there: Skunk Ape, Sasquatch, Bigfoot. It had all the aliases. It was really, really cool. And he did it up, and it's on a t-shirt. And I was like, now that one's cool. So that's definitely so. If you follow the link, there's a little ad. We put an ad in there for the t-shirt design he did. Follow the link to his store. Look at the other designs. The Sasquatch one, "Have you seen me?" It cracks me up. I love it. Absolutely love it. Of course, I am a little bit into cryptozoology, so of course I would love it. But while we're here, we're going to get right into the video. We want to talk about the Patreon announcement, what's going on with that, because there are some promotions that I was not clear in the magazine about the promotions, I don't think. So I need to do a video to let you know about the promotions that are happening with the Patreon. There's promotional gifts we are giving away to people who sign up in the month of November. But before we get to that, let me just say a little shout out to my sponsor, Wizard Tower Games, with their Lost Modules of Gary Con 1 and 2. Well, let's check out the ad spot. What happens to an adventure run at conventions? Many times they are lost and fade from memory, but sometimes they are rediscovered. Presenting the Lost Adventures of Gary Con 1 and 2 from the vaults of Tim Kask, brought to you by Wizard Tower Games. Inside, you will find the Tower of the Mad Wizard and Return to the Frozen North in their original form, as well as in 1st and 5th edition formats, bound as a quality hardcover book with full-color heavyweight pages. All copies are signed by Tim Kask and accompanied by a certificate of authenticity and sealed with a security hologram bearing the edition number. Other features include removable fold-out maps, 16 unique monsters never before seen or published, unique pre-generated player characters, and a 4-page comic spread of Marvin the Mage by Jim Wampler, first debuted at Gary Con 4. You will be getting far more than a simple book. With only 300 copies, the Lost Adventures of Gary Con 1 and 2 are selling out fast. Grab them before other adventures plunder the dungeon ahead of you. Of special note, proceeds are being donated to the 9/11 Never Forget Fund and to cover medical expenses for Rachel Steen, a brave woman who dedicated her life in New York City to helping those with substance abuse issues. Rachel was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. So yes, links are going to be in the show notes. Check it out. And if you ever interact with Wizard Tower Games or Don Samora, please let them know that you hit the ad for Lost Modules of Gary Con 1 and 2. You saw the ad spot here on this channel because it adds value to people advertising on my channel. Thank you very much. So moving on to the magazine, I suppose I could show you the cover if you've not seen it already. Let's do a share screen. Boom, here we are. This is the PDF. I believe this is PDF B, but PDF C has already been uploaded. This just happened to still be open on my computer. A few mistakes in here we fixed. Anyhow, this is the cover, gorgeous cover by Alan. Here's another version of it in black and white with a little write-up on the cover. And this is a scene from an adventure in the magazine. This is the scene from Journey to a Far Country. And it is one encounter in that. Spoiler alert, sorry. But this issue's got no less than 3 adventures. 2 of them set in New Streel because that is our theme, and one set in Jacketsville. That's Jason Messier's adventure. Aaron O'Brien wrote the 3rd. I wrote Journey to a Far Country. And that's because, and the Journey to a Far Country is because this ship here is called the Prodigal Son. S-U-N, not S-O-N, as the biblical parable, but clearly riffing off the biblical parable. So had a little bit of fun with that. Had a little bit of fun with the literary reference to the Bible in my adventure, hence the name Journey to a Far Country, because the prodigal son, when he got all the inheritance from his father, took the goods and went on a journey to a far country and then had riotous living, as the parable goes. So I had a little fun with the literary references there. So very cool. Anyhow, major theme in this issue is Streel, New Streel, the adventures in New Streel. Major content, all circling around Streel. So this is like a module with extras, and the extras are the non-theme material, the frontier cartography, and, the other things that are there. But there's enough content here for you to run a couple of adventures in New Streel. Well, yeah, of course, because there's actually 2 adventures. There's the Ghost of Corpco, written by Aaron, and then my Journey to a Far Country. So it's like getting a module for free. It just go to drive-through and download it. You get a free module, 95 freaking pages, baby. This is really good stuff. So I think we killed it. And again, it's hats off to the magazine staff. Now, New Streel. Streel is the theme, and that leads us over to this Patreon announcement, because the promotional gifts, thank you for signing up in November, are all centered around Streel. But let's take a look at the right here. Patreon, as I was getting ready to turn this live, surprised me with this new thing. Free memberships on Patreon, by the way. So you've got a Patreon that you've not supported. The money's tight. Baby needs a new pair of shoes. Whatever the thing is. For me, it's got to put another car back on the road. So yeah, money's always tight, right? But so if that's you and you're like, I'm not even sure if the value's there for me to support this Patreon, that's a valid concern too. You can now follow a Patreon and you will be considered a free membership. And what free members get is access to any post done by I'm not even sure what you call the person running the Patreon. Not a teacher, professor. I don't know what you call that. There must be a name for the moderator. I don't know. But any post that they put out that's flagged for everyone, the free memberships get. And I'm like, this is very cool, because at any time you want to upgrade your membership to a paid membership, you can. It's very seamless. So this is great. We're using, there's a new feature. We're using it that Patreon just added, where I guess in the past there were some circumstances where people got double charged. They were charged when they signed up for Patreon, and then the monthly annual thing came around and they got charged again, and it's not cool. So it probably led to some disgruntledness here and there. Well, they've subscription pricing. They've done this. I think they call it subscription pricing, and it alleviates that whole problem. It prevents it. So I check mark, yes, we want that on our service. So and free memberships, and that totally surprised, discovered this today. So that has me thinking I got to make sure that I'm doing posts for everyone, and then I can do for the paid patron posts, and then I could actually even do for the elite level patrons posts just for them. So it does have me thinking about engagement and how to stay engaged. And so you can begin to have input into the magazine by following the Patreon and being a free member. Please check it out. follow us. If you don't have a Patreon account, set one up, become a follower, because I'm going to begin to be eliciting feedback from the fan community. What do you like? You think this thing we're doing in the magazine stupid? Well, fantastic. We won't do that anymore. Or maybe I just happen to like it. And we're going to do it anyways. I don't know, but it depends on what it is. But so definitely you want to avail yourself of the free Patreon membership that is now possible. You just follow the Patreon campaign and boom, you're in. Now there's 3 levels here, and right away what should be jumping off the page at you is this. The lowest tier is $3.01. And that's because when I was setting this up a few months ago and trying to go through this, I noticed in all of the feedback I was getting from Patreon that they charged more for money transactions that were $3 or less. They keep more of the money from that transaction, which I was like, huh? That don't seem right. But I just figured, screw it. We'll game the system. We'll set our lowest tier at 301. So, I mean, because I was going to do like $1, $3, or $1, $3, $5, 10. I was going to make the lowest tier $1. The lowest tier was going to be $1, and then the next 2 were going to be 10, 5, and 10. But the difference between $1 and 301 is really, really, really small. And when you really think about it, between 301 and $5, it's pretty small. So it's like there's just value added to go ahead and upgrade to the mid tier at the very least. But still, nonetheless, 301 will be our lowest tier just to game the system and prevent Patreon from keeping more of the money than they should. That's how I view it. I don't feel like they should be taking extra on those smaller transactions, but they are. So we're gaming the system. Now, in these Patreon rewards, 2 things. You've got, I wrote some cutesy in Star Frontier setting rewards that you get. Now, these are just cutesy. It's not a real reward. It's just me being cute, but they were fun to write. And I think they're fun to have there. So you can read those when you check out the Patreon levels. But the basic thing, what are you getting at the $3.01? Well, we are starting because one of the common things that has cropped up over time is people are like, oh, this would be really great if you could do this like every other month, 6 times a year or every month. And my response is, yeah, that would be great. Every month. New issue of the Star Frontiersman. I have a great staff, but I don't think I'd have a great staff if we did this every month. It's all volunteer, and I think I would lose them. Maybe 1 or 2 of them might be hardcore nuts to hang in there with me, but yeah, I think I would lose the staff. It's work. It's work, but we do it for the love of the game. We love the game. It's just there in your heart to do it. So that's, I believe they're all, not only are they all hardcore fans, but they're in it for the love of the game. And that makes me love them in return. I'm like, man, they have the same passion I do. So I'm like, yo, it's my brother in arms. That's the thing. But people want more content. So we're instituting a newsletter through the Patreon. Monthly newsletter. You're going to get more content. Now, the newsletter is going to be called Subspace Signals. You're going to get the yakety yak typical newsletter kind of stuff. Hey, new module being put out by Dorks with Dice, Frontier Space module. It's Star Frontiers adjacent, obviously. It's Star Frontiers with the serial numbers filed off. So yeah, there is an interest in Frontier Space. So absolutely, we would we would talk about that, in the newsletter. Or, hey, Reaper's Miniatures just put out another draw the sight looking figure in their Chronoscope line. Here it is. Check this out. This is a cool looking figure. You might want this for your game. So that kind of thing. What's happening in the Frontier, that there's like a mini Star Frontiers Con going on at over here. Here's the times, the place, that kind of information. But I don't think you all are that interested in the yakety yak. Okay. I think people are interested in more content. They want more content. They want that because they've said that to me, that boy, it'd be really nice if you every other month or every month. God help me, every month. I don't know how we do it. I'm sure we'd figure it out. But we're not going to do that right yet. But what we will do is a newsletter, which will have bonus content, patrons only. So it's going to be, but it's going to be small, simple, fast, easy. It's not going to be complicated articles. It's not going to be whole adventures. It's going to be new equipment, critter corner with a new critter. November's is going to be an unnamed critter that you can name. The player characters, you can set it on any planet. The player characters can encounter it. The character with environmentalist skill can use his naming ability, that's part of his skill, to name something. We suggest a little descriptive name to it. A beaked tiger, because it kind of has tiger stripes, but it's kind of a weird kind of alien looking creature, 6 legs. And so yeah, you're going to have these bonus things. Could be NPC profiles, could be a profile on a terrorist organization or a cadre or new religion. These are the sorts of things we're going to be putting into the newsletter. And then I do believe after 12 months, after a year, we will take all of the subspace signals bonus content and put it into one document, stripped of the newsletter yakety yak, but it'll just be the bonus content all in one document, and then put it out, maybe call it subspace communique, something. But we'll put that together as one nice document, and it'll be an extra document that you'll be able to get and download. It'll be handy because, who wants to flip through 12 editions of a newsletter to find one equipment item, right? That just doesn't seem like fun to me, although I would do it if I was really committed to finding that one equipment item. But so that's Subspace newsletter. There will be one bonus PDF publication at least one time per year. Notice that word "at least." That's used with malice aforethought, because as I sought out advice from people, some people experienced in Patreons, one person running a gaming company, another person a publisher, and just talking to them about the things I could do as rewards. And a universal piece of advice that I got was slow your roll, Tom. Because you look like you're going to get in over your head promising too much. And so they universally were like cautioning me to slow down. So I thought it would be really dumb for me to not take good advice from good people who have their heads screwed on straight, who I respect. So what I've endeavored to do is to underpromise and overperform. My goal is to overperform on these rewards. So when I say at least, this is bare minimum, we're probably doing more than that. So there will be an extra PDF of specialized Star Frontiers content coming in the year. And we're not talking the subspace signals communique that I just described. Something extra, module, reference books, something that takes more effort to put together, that we've been challenged to do. We can't, so it'll be a special, almost collector's edition for the patrons. And then there is a Star Frontiers custom smartphone wallpaper. Easy reward to do. It's just, some artwork that's put together that is a wallpaper for your smartphone. Now, this is the wallpaper here. It needs to be redesigned because Star Frontiersman Volume 2 is in white font. It's in white letters, and it occupies the same space as where my phone puts Tuesday, October 31st. So it makes it difficult to read the date. And so we've got to do a little redesign on that, and that'll be up. That's a very easy reward to do. And we just thought, oh, that's a quick, easy gimme. And we'll create a new wallpaper once a year. And so that's exciting there. The next level, Brotherhood of Spacers, you get everything the first level gets, but you also get a print copy of that extra PDF at least one time per year, just as an extra thank you. So it'll be, if it's saddle stitched or if it's hardbound, whatever it ends up being, we're going to do an extra print edition, patrons only, special patron cover. And then maybe a year later, we might put it up on drive-through with a downgraded, not quite as nice cover, and for the general public, just because we want to encourage more Star Frontiers gaming. But the patron reward will be an absolute numbered. This is it. You got it because you were a patron. Only so many of these exist. Numbered edition. If you want, I guess I could sign it. It might be harder to get the other staff to sign on one of these documents because we'd have to ship them all. And then they sign everything, they ship it to the next person. That could get more complicated. But at the very least, if I'm shipping it out of my house here, I could certainly sign it if you wanted that. But they will be numbered editions, special collector's covers. So you will have something special that you could actually put up on eBay and sell later on. And look, hey, you got to pay. You got to step up and pay to get this because it's a limited resource. So Explorers Guild, the $10 a month level. This gets everything that the Brotherhood of Spacers gets, but they get one extra. They're going to get an extra swag item per year. What is that swag item going to be? We don't know yet. We've thought about t-shirts. I've talked to a printer of t-shirts for prices, but then I thought it's real easy to get your mailing address through Patreon, but then I would have to communicate with every single one of you. And if we got a lot of people involved, getting everybody's t-shirt size and keeping it straight could be a challenge. So we might go for something a little different. The insulated tumblers, coffee cup, hat, PGC on it, that type of thing. Something nice is what we're planning. We have no idea what it's going to be yet. We do want to see the response to the Patreon because that's probably going to impact decisions that we make concerning the swag item that we do. Low response, we're probably going to do a little smaller swag item. Big response, we can afford to be a little bit more crazy on what that swag item will be. So that's the top level. For the promotion that we're doing, for everyone who signs up in the month of November, this is irrespective of, this does not even count as the swag item the top level is getting. It's just a promotional thank you for signing up in November. The lowest level, not the free, but the lowest paid level, will get a Streel Corporation logo. This has been remastered and cleaned up, and we're going to get these printed in job lots, and we're going to give them to everybody who signs up for the lowest tier. And just as a thank you, just you have a nice piece of, a nice sticker you slap on your laptop or notebook that you keep all your Star Frontiers characters, whatever. Streel logo. And that's because we have a nice Streel theme going on in this particular month's issue. The next tier, the Brotherhood of Spacers, is going to be a ID card. This ID card will be printed on credit card quality plastic. It will be something you can sign. This is the mock-up done by the publisher. He put my name in there, and but yours will be blank. You will be able to sign it as your character, or you can sign your name as a Star Frontiersman. Now, I'm just nerdy enough. I'm going to be totally signing mine and putting it in my wallet next to my driver's license like it's a real ID card. But this is for that mid, and it's inspired by, actually, it's inspired by the ID card that you see in the Alpha Dawn basic game rules on page 8. There's an ID card there, and so it was inspired by that. Now, there's a few minor changes going to happen to this. Like, you see this little TV here. I don't want that there. I'm not so vain that I need that TV there. I want to change that. So that's a little detail that I'm working out with the printer. And once I have a final number on December 1st, I will be ordering these cards from the printer, and then I will mail them out. And hopefully, you will have it by Christmas. In fact, I can show you one more here. This is the blank one where you will be signing your own name or your character's name to it. Now, the top tier, the Explorers Guild, the top tier gets both the sticker and the ID card. So that's the promotions, and these are everybody who signs up during the month of November. And so I suppose we'll even make the nice cleaned up remastered artwork available for the free level patrons. I'll just put it in a post, and you'll be able to grab it right off of the patron server as well, if you just want to have it on your computer to use, because it's a nice cleaned up looking Streel logo, and that was nice. But so these are the promotions we're doing for all levels of the paid Patreon campaign. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about this ID card because I've always liked the look of that ID card in the Alpha Dawn basic rules. Just thought it was cool looking. It inspired my imagination. I don't know why, but I liked it. And so I definitely like this here, and I can't wait to hold this in my hand. And I'm going to sign mine and stick it in my wallet. And so if you see me at a convention, you can walk up to me and say, "Excuse me, can I see some identification?" And I'll whip that thing out. So yeah, I can't wait. So that is Star Frontiersman number 29. Links are in the show notes. If you downloaded it earlier today before 4 o'clock, you need to go back and download version C of the PDF. Few corrections have been made. A few corrections were spotted that needed to be made, and those things were fixed. So make sure you go, and don't forget to make sure you also there are 2 other files that come with the magazine. There is the non-disclosure agreement from Streel for the explorers doing the explorer mission, Journey into a Far Country. That non-disclosure agreement, it's not a real legal document, but it's a document for the players to sign as their player characters, and it may have a lot of possibility for setting up a moral dilemma for the player characters in the adventure. Maybe not. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're just show me the money kind of mercenaries. Who knows? But so the NDA is there as a bonus document, and the map that is spotlighted in the magazine is there as a separate download, because the map doesn't look great in layout in the magazine. It's nature of the beast. The map was so big. So we did it as a separate download, so you'd have a nice map that you could get printed and use in your game. Nice remastered Alpha Dawn map. So this is Tom, Tabletop Tap Room, Star Frontiers Gamer, Star Frontiersman Volume 2. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks to my subscribers. Thanks to my future patrons. Appreciate you. And enjoy this quarterly's mega issue. 95 pages. 95-page mega issue to celebrate our 1 year of publication. So excited. So I will see you in the frontier.